Recep Tayyip Erdogan is a man whose journey from humble beginnings to becoming the most powerful man in Turkey is nothing short of captivating. Let's dive into the intriguing narrative of his early life, his entry into politics, his time as the mayor of Istanbul, his unexpected stint in jail, and his triumphant return to politics. Born in February 1954 on Turkey's vibrant Black Sea coast, Erdogan grew up as the son of a hardworking coast guard. At the age of 13, his father, like many parents before him, sought to provide a better future for his children and decided to move the family to the bustling city of Istanbul. In Istanbul, young Erdogan wasted no time in showcasing his entrepreneurial spirit. To earn some extra cash, he took to the streets, selling lemonade and sesame buns. It was during these early years that Erdogan's resilience and determination began to shape his path. While attending an Islamic school, Erdogan discovered his passion for public speaking, becoming renowned for his fiery oratory skills and support of political Islam. And as fate would have it, he also found himself playing professional football, or soccer as our American friends call it, and pursuing higher education in Marmara University. During this time at Marmara University, Erdogan's life took an unexpected turn. He crossed paths with Necmettin Erbakan, a seasoned Islamic politician. Now, one might think, but religiously based political parties were banned in Turkey at the time. But that didn't deter Erdogan from following his convictions. In the 1990s, Erdogan's political star continued to rise as he joined Erbakan's pro-Islamic Welfare Party. In 1994, he became the party's candidate for mayor of Istanbul, an opportunity that would define the next chapter of his life. With his charismatic charm and ambitious vision, Erdogan won the hearts of Istanbulites and ran the city for the next 4 years. But as they say, all good things must come to an end, and so did Erdogan's mayoral term. It was a tumultuous period in 1997, and he found himself convicted of inciting racial hatred. His crime? Reading a nationalist poem that included the now infamous lines, "The mosques are our barracks, the domes our helmets, the minarets our bayonets, and the faithful our soldiers." Little did he know that this incident would forever change the course of his political career. After serving a mere 4 months of his sentence, Erdogan was unexpectedly released from prison in 1999. And like a phoenix rising from the ashes, he re-entered the political arena, fueled by determination and a desire to make a lasting impact. Together with like-minded individuals, he helped form the Justice and Development Party, AKP, after the Virtue Party, led by Erbakan, that was banned in 2001. Erdogan's political journey faced another hurdle in 2002 when he was legally barred from serving in parliament or as prime minister due to his 1998 conviction. However, the tides of fate turned in his favor when a constitutional amendment in December 2002 effectively removed his disqualification. By March 9, 2003, Erdogan's life came to yet another turning point when he won a by-election and was consequently asked by President Ahmet Necip to form a new government. And so on May 14, 2003, Erdogan assumed office, becoming the Prime Minister of Turkey. This role would elevate him to unprecedented heights of power. From 2003 onwards, Erdogan held the reins as Turkey's Prime Minister, overseeing a period of steady economic growth that earned him praise internationally. But as the saying goes, with great power comes great criticism. Erdogan's detractors raised concerns about his increasingly autocratic tendencies, and in 2013, things really hit the fan. Protests erupted, triggered by plans to transform a beloved park in Istanbul. People took to the streets not only against the park's fate, but also as a challenge to what they perceived as an authoritarian rule. Perhaps what made things worse was that the prime minister had a way with words, and it wasn't always in a good way. In fact, Erdogan famously referred to the protesters as kapuluksi, or riffraff. And in a spirit of defiance, neighborhoods across the country united with clanging pots and pans at 9 o'clock every night. It was like a culinary rebellion, a symphony of protests through kitchenware. The Gezi Park protests became a turning point, casting a shadow over his rule, and to his critics, Erdogan started to appear more and more like a sultan from the Ottoman Empire than a champion of democracy. And of course, we can't forget about his falling out with a certain Fethullah Gulen, a US-based Islamic scholar. This guy and his social and cultural movement had played a significant role in Erdogan's electoral votes and the removal of the military from politics. But their friendship turned sour, resulting in dramatic repercussions for Turkish society. And then there's Erdogan's religious learnings. Over the course of his decade in power, Erdogan made some notable moves. One of them involved imposing a ban on women wearing headscarves in public services, which had been in place since a military coup in 1980. Critics argued that these actions eroded the secular foundations laid down by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, the founder of modern Turkey. But Erdogan vehemently denied wanting to impose Islamic values, emphasizing that he supported the rights of Turks to express their religion openly. However, he did take some controversial stances. For instance, he advocated for criminalizing adultery, much to the chagrin of romantic adventurers. And as a father of 4, he made it clear that birth control and family planning were not on his list of favorites. In his words, "We will multiply our descendants." Talk about a strong stance on family expansion. And let's not forget the grand finale, his decision to convert Istanbul's historic Hagia Sophia into a mosque. This move, made in July 2020, stirred controversy and angered many Christians. Erdogan's decision was like adding fuel to the fiery debate over the country's religious identity. Before we dive into Erdogan's fascinating journey as a president of Turkey, please make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out any of our captivating videos. Also, feel free to click that bell icon to be the first to know when we release new content. Alright, back to the video. After being barred from running for prime minister, Erdogan set his sights on the largely ceremonial role of president in 2014. He had grand ambitions for reform, envisioning a new constitution that would catapult Turkey into the ranks of the world's top 10 economies. But fate had other plans in store for Erdogan. In a surprising turn of events, his party lost its majority in parliament in a 2015 vote.
They are 17 short of a majority. They could struggle to form a government.
As if that wasn't enough, a few months later, Turkey found itself in the midst of its first violent coup attempt in decades. Rebel soldiers were on the prowl, inching closer to capturing the president, who was enjoying a holiday at a coastal resort. But fear not, our protagonist was airlifted to safety just in the nick of time. Emerging triumphant at Istanbul's Ataturk airport, Erdogan basks in the cheers of his loyal supporters. It was a nail-biting moment that left the nation on edge, with almost 300 civilians sacrificing their lives in a valiant effort to block the coup plotters. Erdogan wasted no time in rallying his supporters, taking to national TV and declaring himself the chief commander. But even the strongest of leaders have their vulnerable moments. In a heartfelt display of emotion, Erdogan openly sobbed during a speech at the funeral of a close friend who had been shot by a mutinous soldier. It was a poignant reminder of the toll that such tumultuous times can take. In the aftermath, the Gulen movement was blamed for the coup attempt, triggering a massive crackdown. Thousands of public servants were sacked, and tens of thousands of people, including soldiers, journalists, lawyers, and academics, were detained. The international community raised concerns about this crackdown on critics, staining Turkey's relations with the EU and casting a shadow over its bid to join the Union. But from the vantage point of his opulent 1,000-room Aksaray Palace in Ankara, Erdogan's position seemed stronger than ever. He secured sweeping presidential powers through a 2017 referendum, giving him the authority to impose a state of emergency, appoint top officials, and even intervene in the legal system. The following year, he clinched an outright victory in the presidential poll, reaffirming his position as the leader of the nation. His core support came from small Anatolian towns and rural conservative areas. However, his party faced a setback in 2019 when they lost in the 3 biggest cities: Istanbul, Ankara, and Izmir. As the 2023 elections approached, Erdogan sought to solidify his standing with nationalist and conservative voters by accusing the West of plotting against him. A master of political theatrics, he declared that his nation would foil the alleged plot, reaching a dramatic breaking point. And to conclude his presidential campaign, he visited the mausoleum of Adnan Menderes, Turkey's first democratically elected prime minister, who was executed after a military coup in 1961. Erdogan's message was clear: the era of coups and juntas is over. The moment of truth arrived in 2023 as Erdogan geared up for the ultimate showdown, the presidential election. With his sights set on extending his rule into a 3rd decade, he faced off against his rival, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu. The first round of elections on May 14th brought fourth wave of anticipation. Erdogan received an impressive 27.1 million votes, while Kılıçdaroğlu garnered 24.6 million votes. The competition was fierce, but neither candidate managed to secure more than 50% of the votes required for an outright victory, and so a second round of elections was scheduled, and the excitement continued to build. Erdogan proved his mettle once again, securing a total of 27.73 million votes, surpassing the 50% mark with a smile. Kılıçdaroğlu found it hard, but fell short, garnering 25.43 million votes. The people had spoken, and Erdogan emerged triumphant. But the drama didn't end there. In the preliminary vote on May 14th, Erdogan's AK party experienced a slight stumble, receiving 35.61% of the votes, and so Erdogan celebrated his victory, stating it was a victory for Turkey. But what does this victory mean for the Turkish economy? Well, the backdrop to the election was not an easy one. A damaging economic crisis had taken its toll, exacerbated by the recent devastating earthquakes. The economy yearned for stability and a guiding hand to navigate the treacherous waters of inflation and currency depreciation. Erdogan's unorthodox approach to monetary policy had raised eyebrows. Low interest rates amidst surging prices had led to inflation skyrocketing to a staggering 85% last year. The Turkish lira, once a strong contender, had seen its value shrink to a mere fraction of what it was against the dollar. But now, with a fresh mandate, Erdogan has declared that his first order of business would be to address the economic challenges that plague the nation. But the road ahead will not be without its twists and turns. While Erdogan's victory signals continuity, major changes in the economic model are unlikely before the local elections in 2024. And that's a wrap for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below and do well to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more exciting content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.